What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the 3 p.m. live show here at the Investing Bros. And if you didn't see my video this morning, yes, I got a new set working on the home setup. This could be / should be the new normal. It's not finished. Got a lot of stuff to do back here, but you guys didn't come for set talk. You came because of crypto. And yes, crypto has been going nuts over the weekend. A lot of bullish catalysts have come and gone, bringing up big bullish price actions. But the real question is, what are the best buys right now? And I'm looking at 5 coins. It's not just 5, but these 5 coins definitely are running up and to the right, and you don't want to miss out before more gains are coming to them. What are those coins? You got to stick around and find out later on in the show. We've got a lot of big news to respond to, so make sure you smash the like button. If you're new here, hit subscribe so you don't miss anything that we put out on the channel. But first, we got to roll our intro. Well. T-Shroom, you got yourself a new set yourself.
That's right. I am on the first chapter of a new journey in my life of moving every 3 months to be doing medical contracts, temporary medical contracts. T-Shroom, are you a physician? No, it is my wife who is in the medical field. So there'll be all kinds of fun to be had in that world, and I'll be talking about it on X. But I'm doing better than I deserve, Tim. How are you?
I am doing very good. It's nice to be home for some of these streams. Again, it's got to keep working out some other stuff here. I also, before I tried to connect via internet. So if you guys see pixelated Tim today, it's because I guess I'm running off of the Wi-Fi, even though I'm plugged into the router the way you're supposed to be to get the high connection. But we'll have that fixed for tomorrow. At the end of the day, as long as you can hear me and see my screen, the pixelations, we can deal with them. Look for the set to continue to develop. It's just great to be home and then be closer to Brody, not have a long drive home every single day that I get to see him before he goes to sleep early at night. But let's go ahead and dive in here, T-Shroom. Let's go to my screen. Let's check out what's happening via crypto bubbles today. Some big movers here. Some of them more meme coin world. So this is it's a positive sign. Whether you like the memes or not, if you're like me and you don't invest in them, you still can acknowledge that these meme coins going up is a very bullish sign for all of crypto. Popcat looks like the new gainer here in the top 100. Haven't seen the top 100 before. So gonna guess the big move is just getting up into the top 100. Brett's doing pretty well. Floki, Whiff, they're doing very well as well. But Pepe down here as well. Here we go. Gotta get it up on the screen, 18%. But some of these coins that are not necessarily meme coins doing extremely well. Jasmy, the leader of the non-meme coin world today, up 20%. ICP is on a tear, up 11%. There's going to be some others that we take a close look at that are doing extremely well right now. But first, let's go ahead and check out what's happening in the world of Bitcoin. Yes, we start every single show taking a look at Bitcoin. Why? Because until altcoin season, and we'll still want to know what Bitcoin's doing, but until altcoin season officially starts, and it'll probably be sometime this fall, Bitcoin is the main mover, meaning altcoins might go a little bit ahead, might fall a little bit behind, but the biggest catalyst and reason as to why crypto goes up or goes down is based off of what Bitcoin is doing. And Bitcoin doing some amazing things right now. We talked about it in the morning video, but we're even higher than where we were. In fact, I talked about a potential pullback happening later today, which still is in the cards. We'll look at that on a shorter time frame, but Bitcoin continued to run up. It actually went ahead and hit our $63,800 price target we've been talking about for a while, back up to the high we had on July 1st. That's only one thing, though. You see this red line right here, this red cloud. That is our daily smart trail. It is a strong level of resistance that we have been under since back here on June 20th, leaving the bears firmly in control. Well, today we have reconquered that level. The bulls are back in the driver's seat, and I'm looking at price targets to the upside. Not saying we can't have any volatility with price moving down first, but keep an eye on our take profit zones mixed with a bearish breaker block sitting right here close to just under $68,000. That is something that absolutely should be on your mind. But let's say the volume comes in, which actually the volume is coming in here very nicely today. If I were to come to smaller time frames, big volume coming in the last 2 4-hour candles. But either way, let's get back out here. If we do come in the bulls come in with some momentum, some steam, and control. A breakout above this blue level. This is a falling trading channel. It's something that more often than not breaks to the upside. And if it does end up getting that momentum, we could see Bitcoin go parabolically all the way up to almost $83,000. Some people are speculating that this is doable before the end of July. Now, we've got a lot coming on. We're about halfway through the month. We have the Bitcoin conference at the end of the month. So that's going to be something very interesting to keep an eye on. I'm not certain that we're going to see this happen in July, but sooner than the end of August definitely looks like something that could be in the cards here for Bitcoin price heading to new all-time highs. Now, I'm getting feedback here, T-Shroom. Some people are saying pay your Wi-Fi bill, Tim. Am I cutting in and out on your end, T-Shroom?
No, the audio and the video is good. I think you're just becoming a little pixelated every now and then. But
all right, there we go. Yeah, for anyone joining in here, deal with it. I'm going to have a little bit of pixelation today. It's just part of the show, but hopefully the charts and the audio still stays.
How about this?
Let's go back in here.
Every time there's pixelation, smash the likes. How about that?
There we go. It's we talked about one time doing an NFT line of pixelated Tim. Well, I brought them back for all of the OGs right there. Yeah, so keep moving on here. Bitcoin 282K, something that I think should be happening within the next couple of months. We said now for a while that we probably wouldn't see new all-time highs until August or September. I'm going to continue to hold that same philosophy right now. I think that prediction is going to be true. Do not be surprised to see volatility stay in play, and we don't see those highs until mid to late August. With that said, though, I told you we were going to take a look at smaller time frames. Let's go ahead and do just that. While the daily chart is showing us a lot of positivity, looking at the 4-hour chart, we are seeing extreme oversold flashes happening right now. We're above our take profit, sitting at a bearish level of an order block. But when we turn on the oscillators as well, we're seeing a lot of signs that we probably should have some form of a cool off in the next little bit. It looks like we have a lot of bots in chat there. I think Crux and some of our other moderators, if you guys could be dealing with those, getting rid of those, don't want to see nothing but chats with eyeballs and looks like a cloud. I don't even know what that is. Some of our moderators, please help us with that. Let's keep going on, though. We are looking at our 4-hour chart showing a lot of signs on the oscillators of being overextended. Stochastics has been overextended now for multiple days, actually. We have flashed 100% overbought twice here, a little bit in the last couple of hours. We also see MACD at the highest it has been since all the way back here on May 20th. Back at a previous high where we got rejected. And then, of course, you had the Luxago oscillator that is showing right now a red reversal, bearish momentum, and negative money flow. How far down could we fall if Bitcoin does fall? Well, it's probably lower than some of you want to hear. And I'm not guaranteeing this is happening because we have a lot of bullish momentum at the moment. But there is a very interesting looking support level coming back down towards $59,000. Could we see a lot of the excitement that come in get erased back down towards or below $60,000? However, I want you to make sure you understand if that does happen, that is not the end of the world. In fact, that would be coming back down to a former level of resistance, turning it into support, and then moving it to the upside. This is a very bullish catalyst. It's called a higher low. In fact, we could see it continue. Actually, let me get rid of that one. We could see it just continue to bounce off this rising level of support. Would not be abnormal whatsoever before we see bigger gains coming in the next couple of days. With that said, though, there's a lot of things in the news. We're going to transition now from the charts. We're going to come back in a couple of minutes to take a look at least 5, if not more, altcoins that are looking very, very interesting for long-term purchases. But there was some cool things happening from Larry Fink today, T-Shroom, and I believe we have a clip that we can roll.
That's right, Tim. We'll jump over to that clip here. I was actually very surprised to see this, and it involves another one of our favorite characters, maybe on the villain side. I don't know. You tell me in the chat. Is he a villain? But let's take a look at this clip. Let's take a listen.
Now, I know you have been a leader in willing to embrace crypto. You have made it so that people can be in Bitcoin. We hear that you are thinking about Ethereum. These are incredible things. Now, BlackRock is not known as a a gunslinger by any means. So you obviously must believe that this maybe is an alternative. Is this an alternative in order to be able, because of a deficit, maybe something long-term people should have?
Absolutely. As you know, I was a skeptic.
Yes.
I was a proud skeptic. And I studied it, learned about it, and I came away saying, okay, my opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe the opportunity today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's not misuses like everything else, but it is a legitimate financial instrument that allows you to have maybe uncorrelated, non-correlated type of returns. I believe it is an instrument that you invest in when you're more frightened, though. Right. It is an instrument when you believe that countries are debasing their currency, debasing their currency by excess deficits, and some countries are. I believe we have countries where you're frightened of your everyday existence, and if you have an opportunity to invest in something that is outside your country's control, then you can have more financial control. And so I'm a major believer that there is a role for Bitcoin in portfolios. I believe you're going to see that as one of the asset classes that we all look at. I look at it as digital gold, as I said before, and I do believe there's a real need for everyone to look at it as one alternative to, I would say, the optimism that I have in the world. If you want to hedge hope, Bitcoin is not an instrument for hope unless you're hopeful you're going to make a lot of money on it. But I look at it as a vehicle in which you're expressing your financial acumen in something that you're more frightened of the world, you're more frightened of your existence. And I believe there's a great industrial use for it. And I think a lot of people are missing that.
I couldn't agree more. I changed my mind about it when you did. You had been my thinking. It was like, you don't believe in it, so I can't believe it. I want to thank Larry Fink for the message of optimism.
Thanks.
And also for a great quarter. Larry Fink is the co-founder, chairman, and CEO of BlackRock, I think the most important investment company in the world. Thank you.
So many nuggets there to unpack, Tim.
Yeah. There's a whole heck of a lot of stuff to unpack there. Goodness gracious. First of all, Jim Cramer being bullish on Bitcoin. T-Shroom, how does that make you feel inside?
I think he's put out entire courses on how to use your media influence to trade, to influence the market. And I'm not surprised to hear him talking out of one side of his mouth and doing the other. We also have not heard very much from Jim Cramer in general on Bitcoin. He's been very quiet. He's been keeping to the stocks and the equities, and maybe that's how it should be. But definitely around the ETF time, he had a much more significant role in kind of commenting. But man, Larry had so many bangers here. He also seemed a little flustered. I'll be honest with you. It seemed like he didn't necessarily expect to get the Bitcoin question here from Jim. Did you get that impression too as well, Tim? Or do you think that what he said is exactly what he wanted to say?
What Larry Fink said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is the other weird thing that I got from it. The way he reacted in this interview is as if he just became bullish on Bitcoin. If I could be wrong, but he's been bullish on Bitcoin now for a long, long time. I mean, he's been actively running an ETF, the most successful ETF since early January. He obviously was applying for it well before that. So I think we're probably coming up closer to a whole year, if not past a year, since he's been bullish about Bitcoin, yet he's talking about it like he just changed his mind last week. He also was being very careful, and I think this is what you're trying to get at, T-Shroom, is he was being very careful with being overly bullish or talking about like it changing people's lives, right? So he got to the level where he's saying this is worth investing in, and he said if you're afraid of where the world is going, and he's specifically talking about fiat currency, then yeah, maybe you buy some Bitcoin to hedge against the potential collapse of the global economy. Now, we have a completely different conversation we could have about that one, but it's like he's holding back being overtly bullish, which to me, I've seen some interesting things in chat here so far. Some people are almost using this as a extremely bearish thing, that maybe he's marking a top. Other people are saying this extremely bullish. I think it's somewhere down the middle where it doesn't have the largest impact right here and now. But I think his continuing to talk about Bitcoin is digital gold. comments, and then him being reserved and not saying that this is going to be the greatest thing for people's wallets and people's portfolios moving forward, I see that as kind of a middle zone right there. I don't think that this is going to be something that sends Bitcoin price to 82,000 right here and now. I also don't think this is something that's going to be marking a top and have a big pullback with price dropping down maybe to $50,000, maybe even lower. I think what we're seeing happen right now, the Bitcoin bottom down there, July 5th, I think was the bottom of this pullback. I think it is up and to the right from here. Doesn't mean we can't have any lower highs put in with prices dropping back down, like I said, even back down to 59,000. But as a whole, I don't think that this is as bullish or as bearish as a lot of people want it to be. And it's because he actually did a very good job of driving right down the middle of the road with being cautiously optimistic, which is funny because he said the word optimistic about the world. Of course he's optimistic about the world. He's BlackRock. He pretty much dang stinking runs the world. So anything you want to add to that take there, T-Shroom? Is that kind of echoing what your sentiment was?
Mm-hmm. I don't know why I'm hung up on it, but it seems to me like Jim Cramer, brings on Larry Fink to talk about any hundreds of other things that Jim Cramer could talk about with Larry Fink. And I'd love to hear, the context of the greater conversation, because I'm sure they were talking about, the big event that's coming up in November, and other, investment themes. My question is, was Larry Fink kind of in the know that he was going to be asked about Bitcoin? Because his response was it seemed very like he's shifted a little bit on his perspective. And that like a lot of folks he's been having conversations with have probably been kind of laughing at him, like, oh, you guys got this ETF, it did well, but now where it's going, now, what have you done for me lately? And you can kind of tell that maybe he's in these conversations kind of backtracked. After all, the Bitcoin is not doing as well as the S&P has been doing over the last 3 weeks. So, in these like high power conversations, these high power relationships that he has, he's been having to do a little bit of, backtracking. And I think where he's resorted to going is, this is a rather than a flight to quality, maybe it's more of like it's a doomsdayer asset. It's a prepper asset. And, I think, once we see Bitcoin back at all-time highs, of course, those critics that surround him will have to keep their mouth shut, and then he'll be back to the races, kind of selling it, especially once he starts to see the fees that are coming in from the ETF that's been selling, but overall, my thoughts are, just he's got a million things on his mind. Bitcoin is just one of them. And so getting a Bitcoin specific question on CNBC, I think caught him off guard a little bit. And we got to see, his raw thoughts in real time on the future of Bitcoin. He's still very bullish on it, as you can tell, but he's kind of narrowed his focus to its role in the economy rather than being solidly quality. You didn't hear him use that word, right? And that's his famous characterization of Bitcoin. Instead of calling it quality, he kind of the frightened man's coin in a sense. So I guess I'm a frightened man, Tim, because I own a lot of Bitcoin.
Yeah. Very scared over here in the Warren household. I think that's an interesting take, man. I need to think more about it, but the concept that maybe he was surprised, and that's why his answer was so mixed. Because that is the big takeaway here is it was not it wasn't the greatest presentation of Bitcoin, but it also was saying that Bitcoin is worth holding. Was he surprised? I don't feel like Larry Fink allows himself to get into surprising interviews, but maybe at this time he did. Maybe Larry Fink is a much nicer man than we all thought he was, and he doesn't have control over the whole world. We've said crazier things on the show. Let's go ahead and transition here, D-Shroom. Let's get into probably a topic that a lot of people clicked on this video for. Again, moderators, keep an eye. I've seen a lot of bots in chat, so keep an eye on those. Time them out. We don't have to get rid of them just yet in case it is someone real who's just trying to do something crazy. Just time them out for the rest of the show so that they don't disrupt the comment section anymore. Let's get into 5 coins that have absolutely gone nuts. The first one, it's really easy. It's right in your face. Go ahead and share my screen here, T-Shroom. It is Stacks. Stacks has gone crazy. And if you've been watching the Bros channel, if you've been a part of our community, you would have been able to take advantage of this way back here, closer to $1.35, because we talked about how overextended it really was. We talked about the bullish divergence, the buy signals coming in when you turn on the other Luxembourg oscillators, the fact that we hit the take profit on the sell order, and there were so many reasons to move to the upside. Here's what I'll say, though. I didn't think that we would get back up to resistance this fast. What am I talking about? Well, if you take a look, just like Bitcoin, Stacks has found itself in its own descending channel here, similar. And when we get a breakout, this could be a price prediction that gets us all the way up here back above $3. Now, we're sitting under some resistance at the moment. You still are below that red line. You also see that red cloud right there. The smart trail is in play. But we're setting up some really strong bullish support levels right here, closer to 175, 174. I was doing a VIP stream this morning with some of our VIP members saying, hey, if a pullback comes, 175 looks like it has a lot of support. Again, we're talking about Bitcoin. If Bitcoin were to fall back down to 59K, take a look at where resistance was over the last couple of days for Stacks. And even back historically, this 175 level has been a great level of resistance in the past. Now it might be time for the bulls to turn that back into some support, staying above that 4-hour smart trail as a whole. But once again, I'm looking at the 4-hour chart, and I'm noticing there's definitely some overextended levels. Stochastics overextended, 100% overbought. Lux Algo, I don't know why these things switch. Let me move that back down. MACD super high and Lux Algo oscillator. Okay, wrong buttons being hit here. There we go. Bearish divergence, red reversal, bearish momentum. The money flow is still positive, but the minute that money flow goes negative, that will be our trifecta of a pretty good entry for a short. Where are we going down to? If we go to the downside, back to this strong support at about $1.75, give or takes. But Stacks, very, very impressive over the last couple of days, has rallied here. Let's just do an actual estimate here. 50% in the last week and some change, but that gains is not done yet. If you are in a position currently, you could be holding out for the next major level of resistance coming up back towards $3. We're talking about 140% gains on this project in the next couple of weeks. Stacks is one of my top 5 movers. It's something that I think everyone should be owning here in the month of July. The momentum, the power, it is all there. The next one also doing some amazing things right now, and I'll go and spoil it for people that if you're expecting me to name some meme coins, let me pause real quick for any of our new viewers or old viewers. Can you make money in meme coins? Absolutely, you can. There's some meme coins that are popping off currently. There's others that will continue to pop off. They are extremely difficult and hard to track when they will rally and when they will fall. So for that reason, it's not something that I invest a lot in. If you want to, go for it. I think a lot of people, more people get wrecked in the meme coin world than make money. But if you want to do it, go ahead. But there's just so many legitimate projects with legitimate use cases and strong communities that have confidence moving on. There's so much money to be made in legitimate projects. Why waste your time and potentially your money working and spending all your time researching the meme coins? My second legitimate project that I think is going to have a fantastic July, because it's already having a great one, is ICP. Now, ICP is one that we talked about for a while. I've been bullish on for a long time. I thought that we were going to have more of a bullish breakout to the upside back here in May, but when we lost that level, that was something I told you guys, all right, we were in a little bit of an ascending wedge or ascending channel, whatever you want to call it. I did predict if we broke out, look for a pullback down either into this green box, so we're closer to about 650, maybe even as low as 622. Well, I wasn't perfect, but it was pretty darn close. We ended up wicking back here on what date? July 5th. Again, what I think at this point is looking very strong to be the bottom of this entire pullback. We pull back just barely below that down to about $5.86. And then since that time, ICP has now rallied in the last week and some change, 65%, doing a phenomenal job. But where could it get to as it continues to rally? First of all, just like Bitcoin and unlike Stacks, we did today break through that smart trail on the daily chart, a strong level of the bears. We've built for ourselves a strong level of support here at 826. Let me see on the 4-hour chart if that's where we were thinking. Yeah, on the 4-hour chart and there around 826, 830 is going to be, if a pullback happens, a great buying opportunity. But there are targets right now on the daily chart that we really don't get to our next resistance level until this order block and the take profit now on a buy order from Luxalgo until $12.43, which means we still have here another 30% to the upside before we hit our major resistance. For those of you who were brave enough to buy way down here below $6, we're talking about 113 gains. Look at our oscillators here as well. While they're picking a lot of momentum, they're not necessarily overextended just yet. A lot of room to the upside after a buy signal here not that long ago on Luxalgo. The MACD is still below the 50 line, or the 0 line, excuse me, with a lot of momentum on its own. And then the RSI. Do not underestimate, everybody, how powerful it is when the RSI has been living below 50, really since all the way back here in April. Yeah, we've had a couple of fake outs where we barely got above it, but immediately fell back down. We are confidently back above the 50, which means even if there's a little bit of a retracement and this RSI keels over, look for a bounce on the 50 of support rather than falling below, and a confirmation that the bulls are back in control here on the daily chart. I think that ICP, its great gains here in July are just beginning. Look for a potential $12.43 by the end of the month. This is another one I'm very, very big on. Let's keep moving on, though. Another project. And T-Shroom, if you see anything in chat that you think you should interrupt me with, go for it, because I want to make sure people understand these are not the only 5 coins that are going to pump in July. They're just 5 that I have been watching. I've been telling you guys we're overextended, and we've watched even today as they have led this rally. This next one is Jasmy coin. Let's go ahead and go back to the chart here, T-Shroom. Jasmy coin coming back up here to our daily smart trail. So we do need to get back above that to feel very, very bullish. But I told you guys, look for a move down here into our take profit. There was a chance we were going to come all the way down to 1.7 cents. Not needed. We ended up rallying before then. We have rallied now in the month of July. Again, that bottom here in July 5th. We are now up 52% here with Jasmy running into this daily smart trail, very much here in play. But if that is broken, again, we just got a buy signal on this most recent candle. Do not be surprised to see a buy signal, take profit come up here closer to 4 cents, just like the other coins. Could we be rejected in this area? Absolutely. This is a strong level of resistance. If I come to the 4-hour chart, you're going to see this was actually not only bearish order blocks in play, but the take profit on a 4-hour buy signal. Our oscillators, once again, like the others, overextended and look like they want to cool off. But I think that we cool off somewhere back down here again to former resistance, maybe see a 2.5 cent Jasmy, and then an explosion back to the upside. We could see, like I said, 4 cents come back in the equation. That would mean if you take advantage of this opportunity, maybe get that 2.5 cents, you could potentially see somewhere about a 63-70% gain on Jasmy within the next month alone. This is one that already has had a very explosive bull market, and I think it's only going to get even more so. Check out our price predictions. Actually, I have price predictions for all 3 coins that we've mentioned so far. After the video's over, if you're newer to the channel, go check those out. Long term, there still is a bullish reason to look for about 8.6 cents before probably even the election, let alone the end of 2024. By the end of the bull market as a whole, we're going high. I have a price prediction between 60 to 70 cents. Go watch my video on why that is. But as a whole right now, Jasmy bottomed out, looks good, set ourselves another higher low in this bullish formation, and the breaks are taking off. I think the Jasmy coin is going to be one of the top gainers in the bull market. Before we move on, because that was 3, we have 2 more that are looking very, very interesting. But I see we have a super chat, and we'll check in with chat here just a little bit before we continue. Chop giving $5. Let me see this. Looks like a shill of some kind, but we're going to read it. But make sure you guys understand, whenever you hear about a coin, don't buy or invest in projects especially just because you saw a super chat somewhere. But even like if I say it, even if I were to tell you guys this coin is amazing, go buy it right now. Hopefully I never put it that way. Hopefully I give you rational reasons as to why it's about to rally, but you still should continue to do your own research before you invest a single penny. That's something we're very, very big on here on the channel, is that we're not here to make your financial decisions for you. We're here to help you think about how to make financial decisions, and then you go out and do it yourself. Anyway, Chop said, thoughts on Wolf 0x67 on ETH, top holder, donated $2 million to the treasury for top tier exchanges and marketing, could be bullish given their treasury. That's really cool. I'll just tell you, if someone donated $2 million for the treasury, that's actually really cool. That doesn't tell me everything I need to know about the project. There could be a lot of other terrible things happening here. So what I think about Wolf, I don't know anything about it. I would need to do more research, and I'm not going to do that live on the show. But if anyone else wants to do it, for yourself. Go take a look at the tokenomics, take a look at the team, take a look at previous price action, take a look at their community. Don't buy simply because somebody donated $2 million to Treasury. Is that a plus? Is that something that should go in the pros column? Absolutely. But that doesn't maybe discredit some things that you might find in the cons as well. So thank you for the super chat. T-Shroom, anything else you're seeing here in chat before we move on with our 2 other picks of these top 5?
Well, Tim, unless CNBC is mistaken, the VP has been announced.
Wow, I saw some comments about that, but I didn't know if it was true or not.
So we were supposed to get that news at 4:30, but according to CNBC, Trump's VP pick is J.D. Vance, ending his search for a running mate for Orange Man. I went ahead and said the T word there on accident, and we'll see if we get taken down.
We're going to be okay. We're gonna be okay.
So, Tim, the question everybody's wondering tuning into the Investing Bros is this good for crypto? Obviously, there was 2 other people I could name off the top of my head that would have been very bullish for Bitcoin. However, if you go over to standwithcrypto.org/politicians, you can see what this is a Coinbase affiliated nonprofit that is kind of a lobbyist group. They give J.D. Vance a strong support. He's a senator of Ohio, of the R party. And, so, I'll just say it. I would have liked to have seen Vivek. I also would have liked to have seen RFK, right?
I was saying, if we were going to rank what would have been the best possible outcomes for crypto, RFK is number 1. Vivek's number 2. I think Vivek is right there, close second. But it would have been a cool world where RFK was the vice president behind Trump.
The good news is, before everybody starts, reaching for the Kleenexes to start crying, is that more than likely both of those individuals, especially Vivek, who's been extremely loyal to Orange Man, will likely get a cabinet seat, right? And there's 9 or 12 of them. So
listen, this is our dream scenario with this. If J.D. Vance is now the vice president, give Vivek the cabinet position for the Treasury, and give RFK. I mean, we saw some recent friendly comments. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be best friends or anything, but I don't know what it's called. But one of the things that I love about RFK's policy and what he wanted to get done is when it comes to the food industry and the medical industry, what would the cabinet position be called to oversee? Like the FDA and the medical,
probably agricultural commission.
Agriculture. Hey, give RFK the agriculture position in the cabinet. That'd be pretty cool. It's probably not going to, but
Matt
it'd be
says
my dream scenario.
Vivek for Treasury, taking Janet Yellen's current job as, in my opinion, the most powerful person in the world when it comes to the finance world. Vivek being there, I think you might actually get the Fed audited. There could be a potential for Ron and Rand Paul's dream to come true there. Yeah. This is huge news. If you're not in the United States, you don't care about U.S. politics. I get it. We get it. We're not going to linger on this too long, but this is a pretty big deal, especially considering the events of this weekend, which if you've been living under a rock, there was a assassination attempt on the president. Former President Orange Man, and obviously there's a lot of people, a lot of different voices processing that. Tim, do you want to take a moment and kind of express how you think and feel about that event?
Yeah, we'll get back into again, we haven't talked about the last 2 picks of our top 5 yet, so stick with us. And yes, Tim's pixelated. We're going to deal with it. I have it plugged into the internet, but it's still going off of Wi-Fi for some reason, so that's our mistake here. Yeah, when it comes to this Saturday, I mean, the first very obvious thought that I have is no matter who you're planning to vote for, what party you affiliate with or anything, there's nothing that would make an assassination of any candidate acceptable or okay or make us feel good about our election process. There's a lot of immature people out there who just think I want my guy to win or my lady to win, so get rid of all the others by any means necessary. There's this thought out there that there's somebody in the election trying to compromise or get rid of democracy. I'll tell you this right now. If there is not a safe and peaceful way to run and share different opposing views and allow the democratic process of elections to work, then that is the threat to democracy. I want you guys to know, there's a lot of conspiracies out there about who did it. I don't think that. I think it's going to be a little bit more weird than people think and a little less than others think. I don't think that there's necessarily a grand conspiracy the way a lot of people want it to be. That being said, I don't know. Like, I'm not smart enough. That's not my area of expertise to know what would have to happen to go into all the inside information. What we do know, though, is that Donald Trump, somebody tried to shoot him and was stinking close to getting the job done. What we also know is that somebody in the background, actually multiple people were hit. One of them ended up passing away, and that is extremely sad. It is not something to just gloss over, because that person's life, maybe, his name gets said in the news now, but he wasn't a person that was going to affect general change as a whole the same way a politician is. But if you're in the same boat as I am, every human life is extremely valuable. The concept of somebody losing their life due to differing opinions is very, very sad, and something that we as a country need to continue to look in the mirror. I think we're seeing a lot of this. It actually has been very encouraging to see remarks from, and you can argue at the timeliness of it, but we've seen remarks from Barack Obama. We've seen remarks from Joe Biden. We've seen remarks from RFK. We are seeing the political world as a whole kind of come together in unity, saying, okay, this is not okay. This is something we must condemn. Of course, Donald Trump, I don't know if you have the tweet for it. Donald Trump now reporting, after months of nobody saying anything, he's now calling for Secret Service to be put with RFK. I think this is something that what the enemy meant for evil, and who the enemy is, you can deal with that what you want. I think there's a chance that good can come out of this whole situation. And I'm not talking about, there's this widespread thought like, oh, Trump just won the election. It's a shoo-in now. The amount of people coming out of the woodwork to support him that were kind of on the fence, you can think about that whatever you want. I mean, potentially this could end up being something good for all of the political war and violence that has been going on. Let's just not beat around the bush. If things weren't dealt with correctly, T-Shroom, this country was headed for some form of a civil war. That it just everything about how people treat each other and how we handle political functions and arguments, we were headed for some sort of violent head one time or another. I think there's a chance that this could be something that does make people stop, pause, reflect, and think about what we actually want to be known for as a country. America's better than what we saw on Saturday. And you might not believe that, but I still do. And I think there's still a lot of hope for brighter days ahead. That's kind of my thoughts as a whole. We probably won't mention this too much more down the road. Again, we try our very hardest to stay out of the political realm, except for when that political realm comes into crypto. This one did. I mean, it was one of the biggest bullish catalysts for the crypto rally this weekend, but it's also an extremely sad situation that makes you stop and think, man, we got to be better than this.
Yep. Yeah, we're probably bring this back up towards the end of the show, but let's get to those other two coins, Tim, and there's a lot of chatter around crypto. I love to see that people are still interested in getting back to these coins, so let's do it.
Let's take a look at what's happening in my fourth coin. And this is one that I'm going to be honest with you guys, I do not own just yet. T-Shroom does, but it is going nuts. It's a newer one, and it is PENDLE. PENDLE is going pretty berserk here. Again, bottoming out, actually not on July 5th. It kind of bottomed out on July 5th. Double bottomed on the 9th. But since then, here in the last 6 days, so less than a week, PENDLE is now, it's rallied as high as being up more than 46%. Right now, it's about 35%. Showing a lot of signs that we could be about to break some major resistance. You can see here, if we go ahead and draw some resistance levels, we are working to break out of a form of a descending channel or a falling wedge, really, if you want to take a look here. Let's take a look at this. Actually not going to be a channel. It's going to be a wedge, right? So we actually do have constricting momentum here in price action. I'll go ahead and make it so that the wicks are not really in play there. But either way you shake it, we are seeing bullish breakout here for PENDLE. This would give us a breakout prediction, in case anyone is wondering. This would give us a bullish prediction on PENDLE to eventually reach the levels of $8.56. There is going to be some resistance sitting right above us here at $6.50. But right now, a lot of positive signs. I told someone earlier, there's only so much TA you can do. But with seeing the momentum and the buy signal that's coming in here on the daily chart, a lot of positive momentum going forward. In fact, here on the 4-hour chart, this is one of the few charts that we're really not seeing any resistance in play. Instead of saying what we need to reverse right now, we're actually showing we could go a lot higher, possibly testing up towards $6 before we get some resistance within the next week or so. So keep an eye on PENDLE for sure. I'm going to kind of end the T on that one early, but I'm going to throw it to T-Shroom because this is one that you hold in your portfolio and advocated should and potentially could have a spot as a risky investment for newer traders. T-Shroom, can you tell us a little more as to why PENDLE should fit that bill?
Well, it had been something that was on my radar for a little while, and then I had a personal phone call with a friend of mine who's actually in the development of some various crypto projects, some of his own, and he just went on and on and on about PENDLE, right? And it's got a nice website here, PENDLE Liberating Yield. It's definitely in DeFi, and the biggest thing that he was kind of pointing out was that you could control your own yield, and there's the ability to separate. See if I can find it here. You're able to separate yield from principal, and so think about it like this: so bonds throw off yield, right? Basically, with PENDLE, you can I could own the bond but not the yield, and you could own the yield but not the bond. Is it possible that there's other that's not that difficult of a maneuver to pull off in a smart contract or some kind of super smart contract? It's possible that that's easy and that PENDLE will become more obscure and less competitive because someone can replicate that. But to my knowledge, PENDLE's the only one that can do that. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, T-Shirt, why is that? Who cares if you can just get the yield or just the principal? I get that too. There's a lot of questions. This may not be the coin for you. I don't have a huge allocation of it, but when I hear people that I know, like, and trust that are developers in crypto and Web3 and they're bullish on it, right, that usually gets my attention because, to be honest with you, I don't talk to a ton of devs. And when I do, they usually don't tell me anything to buy, right? They don't talk about specific coins. But in this case, PENDLE got my attention. I bought it. I've been happy with it and haven't DCA'd, right? Just had the one purchase, and so, yeah, I'm bullish on it.
Well, hey, it's got some momentum going. Again, could be one that we see continue to flourish here in July. Again, all the bullish news that came out, you're going to see a grouping of coins kind of leading the market, and it's one of them. But we won't spend too much time on PENDLE. We'll move on to the fifth and final coin that I'm really excited about, showing a lot of strength. But this one's dramatic effect there. The drum roll. This one's a little bit different. The others recently had some major corrections, right? The first four we talked about. Ooh, he's just showing it early. Oh, showing it early. It's a setup here. T-shirt.
No reveal.
It's a setup. The others had major corrections. This one has actually been extremely hot the entire bull market. Again, especially if you were to say the real bull market kind of started more in October-ish area, September area. It got going in December, but we're about to show my coin. T-Shroom showed it. Let's go to it. It is Mantra. Oh, we're going to do another drummer. Okay, well, it's just goodness gracious. All right, we're butchering this one. All right, Mantra doing some great things, but take a look at what it's done since back here in December. It's been now about 7 months and some change, and it is up 5,400%, give or take. But what's even cooler about this one, before I turn on all the other things, this is a coin that came out back in 2020. It's going to say this chart 2021, but this coin came out back in 2020, and yet it is right now sitting just below its all-time high that it set a couple of days ago. Better yet, let's take a look at a couple things that could be in play here. Longer term, there's going to be some people who try to say this is the bull flag. This is going to be the super bullish perspective here. But there's going to be some people who say maybe by the end of the bull market, we're looking at Mantra getting up here to $27. That's a lot. That's a lot right there. In fact, I'm going to have to do some further research on that to see if that's even possible based off of token metrics. It probably is, because that would be, just from where we currently are, about a 21x, give or take. So not the craziest thing in the world. That's actually probably more doable than I thought. But I'm not going to draw that bullish of a formation. Let's zoom in here a little bit more. I think the more responsible and proper way to draw the bull flag, because this is a bull flag, parabolic run up into a channel formation. this is probably more adequate. Let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? More appropriate to come back to the dip in February, end of February, and move that one over. This shows that in the next little bit here, not that long, we're talking about a couple of weeks, probably before the end of July, we very well could be seeing a $3 mantra coming in before that end of the month. This would still be, if you purchase today, and I'm going to look at the lower time frame, see if there's a pullback, this would still be at 152% from right now. And that would be assuming that we just go straight up and to the right. If you take a look at the daily chart right now, and we're looking at what we're doing, we just hit a take profit on a daily buy signal we got here a couple of weeks ago. But when I take a look at the 4-hour chart, I'm sure we're going to see even the 4-hour chart telling us it probably needs to come back down and correct. Where to? Probably back down to that blue line that was resistance, turn it into support, back down here towards $1.09, $1.10, meet the 4-hour smart trail, and then make our way to the upside. Right now, again, we're pretty overextended even on the daily chart, but give us a little bit of a cool off, and Mantra's got itself a parabolic run that should be in play should this bull flag end up playing out. And it's very much looking like the signs are saying yes, yes, yes. That's our 5 coins right here. There's some other honorable mentions for sure that could be very, very interesting. One of them people are going to potentially have a problem with, but XRP, don't necessarily sleep just yet on XRP. There's some rumors out there. That was
continue.
Aggressive.
I think some people may consider it shots fired to give a buy rating to XRP.
I think it's too soon to do shots fired jokes, T-shirt. I think it's too soon.
Let's go back.
I could be wrong. Let us know in the comments. Is it too soon? All right. XRP chart-wise, we are running into some resistance. We rejected on that very strong 56 cents. That's been a very key level for XRP over the last couple of months. But there's rumors right now that the Ripple lawsuit could be over. In fact, I saw confirmation today that members from the SEC and Ripple were meeting behind closed doors. Usually they make those things kind of more public. If the XRP or the Ripple lawsuit is over, I'm not talking about a run up before the end of July for XRP to get back above $1 and start making a move towards all-time highs. Let's not get that crazy. But there still is a large XRP community. There still are people that will take advantage of a good trade and good momentum. And we've seen XRP have these rallies before. I mean, again, we're just past, on July 13th, we celebrated 1 year since this God candle. I mean, there's not been another God candle in crypto like the one we had in XRP last July, where in one day we more than doubled the price of the coin, going up 100 and some percent, 101% before we end up having a correction. You can say what you want to say about XRP. You can like it, you can hate it, you can invest in it for a long time, you can only enter for a trade. But I'm telling you right now, when, and it is an issue of when, not if, when there's an official end to the lawsuit, there will be a big bullish candle. How high does it go? I think you're going to start making some arguments for at least back to 75 cents. I think there's a good argument to say we could see candles over multiple days get back up closer to, if not over $1. But the point stands, if you're looking to make trades, if you're looking for opportunities to enter short swing trades, we're sitting on a catalyst right now that XRP could have some floodgates open up and the price shoot to the upside. Don't shoot me, the messenger. Make sure you're aware of a potential trade opportunity. That is one I'm not going to be surprised in the least when we look back on August 1st and say what were some of the top moving altcoins in July. Don't be surprised to see XRP up there amongst some of the top. T-Shroom, do you disagree with that take? If so, why?
The only reason I would disagree is if you're not a swing trader. I think you said it well there, Tim. Is like if you're a swing trader, take a look at this. This could be really interesting for you. I think the reality is that you need to stay focused. Right now, Bitcoin is an excellent train to be on. Yeah. And if you're in crypto, in only 3 to even 5 months, it might be more advantageous to look into crypto stocks, look at MSTR, some of the mining stocks, really go deeper on Bitcoin and investing in your education into Bitcoin, and then dabbling into Ethereum and dabbling into Solana and Cardano and on down the line. If you're finding yourself arriving at XRP, that's fine, right? But I would just be caution traders that XRP comes with a lot of risk. And if you're experienced, that might be very attractive to you. If you're inexperienced, I would just caution folks, buy Bitcoin, stay in Bitcoin. You're going to be very satisfied with your gains in Bitcoin, especially if you're coming from stocks and bonds. You're going to absolutely smear 9% out of the water. You're going to be fine, right? Getting an XRP is interesting if you've got a lot of experience. That's what I would say.
I want to make sure people understand, though. Like, I believe there are gains to be made in XRP, even long term. Let's pretend you bought XRP today at 53 cents and held till September of 2025. Will you have more money? Like, if you put $100 in, will you have more than $100 here a year from now? I think so. I think you'll probably at least have a 5x of that, right? I could see XRP at least going back to, if not above, all-time high. What T-Stream's getting at, though, is that there are so many other projects that you'll probably make a lot more money in. I think you're probably make more money in XRP than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, in reality, we're probably only going to see like a 3x from here, maybe a little over that. But when you take a look at other projects like Chainlink, like ICP, like Stacks, like Ondo, Caspa, and I'm going to leave out a lot, but you get my gist. There's a lot of coins out there. I think there's a lot more money to be made in those other coins. That being said, let's not be ignorant to say that there can't be things that make XRP pop short term. And what I'm saying is, as we're getting closer to these rumor rumblings of the Ripple lawsuit officially being over, don't underestimate the emotional trading of people and the emotions that will be unlocked to allow XRP to make another run up similar to what we saw last year. Again, does that make XRP fly into the top 5 altcoins? No. Does that mean XRP should be your number one holding bag for the bull market? No. If you want to have a small bag, I think it's still a good investment in terms of making some gains. But if you are someone who's newer, and we've talked about this frequently, we probably need to talk about this more on Saturday, do another refresher for a beginner portfolio T-shirt. If you can only hold like 5 to 10 coins, I don't think that XRP is cracking the top 5 to 10. If you're the type of person who wants to really diversify and hold maybe up to 30, 40, 50 coins, it comes with a level of responsibility, meaning stay up to date with all of those coins. Yeah, maybe XRP makes it and cracks into my top 30 or 40 suggested holdings. But there's a lot of people who don't need to get anywhere close to 30 or 40 coins in their portfolio. And so for that reason, I would look at XRP right now as a trading coin. Like, not to get inappropriate, T-shirt, but like the questionnaire, it's like let's go kiss. Marry, kiss, unalive, right? I don't want to say words on here. If there was like a trade, hold, sell, I'm putting XRP right now with this low price levels. I'm not going to hold. I'm not a holder of XRP right now. I hold some, but I'm not going to hold it long term. I'm going to trade it right now. There's other coins I'm going to put in my category of holding long term. Some of you are going to agree with this. Some of you disagree with this. There's probably a lot of people in our chat that are major XRP supporters. You believe in the technology. You think it's going to be a great thing for the world. Good for you. Hold it. I'm not here to try to change your convictions. I'm telling you mostly how I'm viewing XRP, and I'm not an anti-XRP person. I just have some legitimate concerns about its long-term prosperity that make me say it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest long-term hold. Barbara King, I think you disagree. That's great. Let me know what your thoughts are. RDXRP, I'm sure just by your name, I would assume you hold a decent bag of XRP. Feel free to give your take in here in chat. Go ahead, T-shirt. We have a super chat we got to respond to too, but go ahead.
Yeah. If you've been holding XRP, which Tim, you still have a little XRP, don't you?
I have probably about a grand total of $300 worth of XRP.
Yeah. So if you've been holding, that's not nothing. Right. If you've been holding, if you've been holding XRP, right, I really hope you get rewarded. I hope it doesn't cut into my Chainlink market share, but I really do hope that you get rewarded. But I think the reality is that investors looking at XRP are really taking a risk because the community has left, in my opinion, and it has been replaced by bots. And the thing is bots are nice for short, spurts of growth, but they're expensive too. Operating bot farms is not free. So anyway, all that to say, is there more to XRP than bots? Yeah, there is real development and there's a real team behind it. However, right, it's an older coin, right? And there's Chainlink. There's more efficient, better coins, better alternatives. if you're looking for altcoins, if you're looking for the new Bitcoin, right? You're new to crypto. You're asking that question. What's going to be the next Bitcoin? I'll break it to you. Keep moving. When it comes to XRP, keep moving. Keep researching other projects. If there's something about XRP that just draws you in, say la vie, right? Go wild with it. But as an investment, I would be very hesitant. As a trade, Tim's making a very compelling case that there is a fundamental argument for it being a buy right now, because it's going to come out that the SEC is going to lose this epic battle that it's been in for 5 years, and that could definitely have some significant upside. We've seen a lot of it already. What I would say is look at the mining stocks today, right? If you're looking elsewhere, but you've bought a lot of Bitcoin, but you want to keep buying, Riot, CleanSpark up more than 15% today. Marathon up 18%, right? BitX, the double leverage of Bitcoin futures contracts, is up 20% today. MSTR up 15%. Coinbase up 11%. There's a lot of ways to diversify without even getting out of Bitcoin, right? Coinbase, I guess, would be getting out of Bitcoin direct exposure. But there's a lot of ways to invest in crypto without getting away from that Bitcoin thesis, that Larry Fink flight to quality thesis that is proven at this point. It has crossed the finish line. It is well ingrained in Wall Street. We're here because we like altcoins, right? We get into altcoins. Just be very careful. XRP is not that coin. We have a factoid of the day, Tim. Are you ready for it?
We do, and then we have a super chat to read right after that, and we'll do a little bit of Q&A at 4:45. Remember, though, our VIP trading members, today we're going to do it in Discord. We're not going to record today, so you have to be there live, but we have our Monday Q&A for our VIP traders. We'll have probably 1 or 2 questions here in chat and on YouTube, but then if you want to be on our members Q&A, we're doing a lot more of them. You got to sign up for our memberships or get Lux. I'll go down below to make sure you're part of our VIP team. But T-shirt, let's go ahead and do our factoid super chat, and then we'll answer 1 or 2 questions and call it a day.
Mm-hmm. All right. Absolutely. So factoid of the day today is brought to you all by CoinW. You guys can go check them out. There's a link for them in our description down below.
Team Banter's on the picture.
Got all kinds of different trading pairs on spot and on leverage. But Tim, CoinW is bringing us the factoid of the day. Let's get into it. Mount Everest soars over the Earth at 29,031 feet of elevation.
Fudge.
What's the highest point in these United States? Is it A, 20,310 feet? I'm not going to read all these. B, 24,000 and change. C, 16,000 change. D, 19,000 change.
I mean, I honestly have no idea. I don't know. I feel like one of those is Mount Everest. So I'm going to say probably not 24,000.
Well, Mount Everest soars at 29,000.
Oh, you said it. Oh, never mind. Okay. Well, it's critical reading, Tim. Critical reading. All right. I think we're significantly lower, though. I already wanted to say either A or D. Let's go with A. If not, my backup's D, but that doesn't count, so it doesn't matter.
Look at that. You haven't been right in a while. You got it right, Tim.
And I haven't been right in a while when I do the I don't know, but I'm going to pick 2. I usually end up, whenever one I pull as my reserve is the one that's right, and I rarely get the guess correct. But I'm glad to win today. It's the new set. It's the pixelation. The pixelation really came in clutch today.
Well, it is the mountain peak Denali. Is the highest mountain peak in North America, not just the U.S., with a summit elevation of 20,300 feet above sea level. It is the tallest mountain in the world from base to peak on land. But, Tim, you don't always measure base to peak. And some of us know that very, very well.
Okay.
JD Vance getting the big VP pick there, Tim. We got a super chat. We can finish out the show talking about a couple of different things here, but the super chat is FJB meme on Solana come back in September. So those of you who are into the politics,
it's a shill right there,
meme world, that's probably very exciting for you.
Yeah, here's what I'll say again. I'm not a meme coin trader. What I will say is it makes a lot of sense that all of the political memes that have to do with Biden or Trump saw big spikes over the weekend, and we're going to see volatility, right? Up and down price movement. I don't recommend anyone doing any 50x leverage trading on these political meme coins. But if you asked me, Tim, yes or no, are there gains to be made in these political meme coins between now and election season, which November-ish area? Yes, I mean, those are going to go up. It's going to get people in there that just want to trade and put more money in there. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
I still preach caution when it comes to investing, even in those meme coins. These are the types of things, guys, if you invest in these and you see a 2x or 3x, get out. Like, the mistakes mostly come when someone has like 5x or something, but they're like, well, what if I could get to 10x? And then it only goes to like 7x, and they're up a lot of money, but they don't sell. And then within 2 candles on the daily chart, boom, all their gains turn into losses. That's the horror story of meme coins.
Yep.
Trade responsibly.
If you're looking to learn more about Big JD Vance, who just got the VP pick from your boy Orange Man, I just dropped a link in the chat, or you can go to standwithcrypto.org and get involved with that website. By the way, it's a good one.
Here's a fun fact, T-Shroom, that I don't know the answer to, but we need to find out. When was the last time he potentially could be president? If something happens to Trump in the presidency, he would become president. When was the last time we had a president with a beard?
Man, they are always shaven. I never even thought about that. Well, it's because of the military thing. They're the commander in chief.
It's just a thing that's been around for a long time. Yeah, we have not in a minute had a president with a beard. I can think of several presidents that had beard in our histories. Back when men were men,
Back when those were the days when men were men. Speaking of men being men, on this website, there's like they have their own like little page. First of all, he strongly supports crypto. Has made 8 statements about crypto. This is a great website. But look at this, Tim. He donated $1 million in Bitcoin to the real Donald, and will be voting for him in November. Did Vance do that, or did he retweet this person? Either way,
he's retweeting somebody. He's retweeting somebody.
That's a lot of money for a politician. Even these days, I don't think politicians.
I don't know.
Have that kind of money.
I don't know who the Cameron person is. So I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one question. One question. It's already past 4, and if the question is why is Tim pixelated, then we're gonna skip over that one. So don't throw those ones in there. So Kyle feels got to be William Taft or Abe. So it wasn't Abe. I mean, I can think of a couple after Abe. That was a long time ago. But he probably, I will say, if you were to think of presidents with beards, most people probably first think of Abraham Lincoln. But he was not the last one. Yep. So here we go. A lot of clean-shaven men.
Dude.
It's been a minute, man.
Mustaches
don't count. Mustaches don't count.
Wow. Tim throwing a curveball. There it is.
Beards. Lots of mustaches.
Benjamin Harrison.
Benjamin Harrison. All right. There we go. Well, we got our answer. Back in 1883.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a good look at this beard. I don't think I've ever even laid eyes on this individual here.
I mean,
he was in the do nothing presidents category, right?
I think it's one of those things that, like, the footnote about him is that he was the president in between what's his name? The ones on either side of him. Gosh. Oh man, I used to be a good homeschooler that knew all my presidents' names.
Grover Cleveland and
Cleveland,
Grover Cleveland. Oh, he was in between those two administrations.
Yeah. And then guess how many people are going to start talking about Grover Cleveland again when, for the second time in American history, we had a president lose his second nomination and then win the following one, right? So like that's only happened now twice.
Yeah, everybody's going to be talking about that, Tim. You're right.
We're talking about it right now, T-shirt.
Hopefully your crypto predictions are better than your presidential predictions.
Oh All right.
We're having fun. It's all fun and games.
We're having fun. All right, last one question here. I've been saying it. I see a couple people asking about AIOZ. Let's take a look at AIOZ.
And
I feel like we've done this before, and then we.
Yep. And we also have a very important announcement. But before we get to AIOZ, today we will have our spaces. That's right. X Spaces. Ooh. Wait, the bros are on more than just YouTube? That's right. We're on X Spaces, where you'll be able to find us today at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look at that guy without the hat on. We need to get a new graphic for that because T-Shroom is a hat guy now. He's a hat guy ever since he got some feedback from a special individual who said, never wear your hair on stream.
Well, hopefully you wear your hair on stream. Let's take a look at AIOZ. We'll call it a day here today. Falling wedge pattern for AIOZ. We're currently wrestling with that resistance level. Smart Trail, keep an eye on 57 cents. Going to be very, very interesting on the daily chart. Great buy signal here. Again, it was a little early when we got the first buy signal. But if you would continue to hold on, we got another one that just came in here. Green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. So great buy signal there. A lot of room to the upside on all of our oscillators. RSI wrestling with the 50, but if it breaks through, could be
solid.
very, very big. Do we see the 4 hour showing us some resistance? Yep. 4 hour Smart Trail, still red, giving us a little bit of trouble. A lot of reverses on those. So look for a pullback, possibly back down here again. 43 cents is in play, I would say, for a potential buy order, but then green pastures ahead, guys. Very bullish on a lot of the altcoin space right now. Got some big things ahead of it. And this formation, I mean, I didn't even show you guys a breakout. If this formation does what it should do, we're not talking about just going up to 57 cents. We're talking about coming back up here to this resistance level of 87 cents. So AIOZ, people, that's some, I mean, not quite a 2X there, but definitely worth a trade.
Tim,
slap a 2X on that bad boy, make some money.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
El Toro said petition for some extra sounds on Tim's soundboard. Tim, you don't have a soundboard. It may seem
I do
like
not have a soundboard.
I think we need to make each a soundboard. We have a stream deck for you, but
I need to get that back from the office, replace it here. Guys, on your way out, that's going to wrap up our show today. Smash the like button if you loved the pixels, if you love the chaos, if you loved the crypto and the TA. You got to smash like, hit subscribe so you don't miss anything. I will see all of our VIP members here in about 40 minutes. The rest of you, I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.